What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, we are going to be talking about the LEC playoffs. We have the updated playoff bracket. Like I talked a little bit of crap about the LCS playoff structure and how there's only 2 games per weekend and how we're not getting to see some of the best teams play every single weekend. The LEC is doing it right. We have 3 playoff series this upcoming weekend. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have G2 Mad, Schalke Fnatic, and then the winner of that series taking on Rogue. I believe Schalke Fnatic is Friday, G2 Mad Saturday, and then Rogue against Schalke or Fnatic on Sunday. So it should be an awesome weekend. Last weekend was really fun, really exciting, a ton of awesome matchups. Obviously, the viewership was insane. Viewership was crazy, and both series were pretty fun in different ways, even though it was kind of expected to be a little bit of a snoozer. In this video today, we're going to be going over the past weekend series, but then also looking ahead to this week's matchups and what's going to be going on, giving some of my updated kind of predictions and everything, giving my thoughts and opinions on all the matchups, but then hopefully getting the thoughts and opinions of you guys as well. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second, smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. It's an awesome way to help support my channel and my content. If that's something that you're interested in doing. Also, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you don't miss out on anything we've got going on in the future. Helps you guys, helps me. It'd be great. All right, here we go. Let's get right into this. I don't think I have set up my paintbrush yet, so we got to do that. We'll go with the red today. So, last week, we started off the weekend with Fnatic and SK. SK was coming to the playoffs, not looking so good. I believe they were the least talented team in the playoffs. They're obviously the least experienced and everything. People didn't have really high expectations for them, but Fnatic hadn't really looked that great over the course of the season either. Fnatic did what they needed to do. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what they had to do to kind of get some momentum, start building some confidence, get some people having some more faith in them and everything. They took care of SK pretty handily. I don't have a ton to talk about the series. I think the future is kind of bright for SK. Some of their players are obviously showing up. I know that GenX had a really big series. Obviously, Treats has had a really big season. There are some things to be hyped up and excited about, but there's still a lot of issues with this team. I don't think Blue is their mid laner of the future. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do all the way around. I know Tinks didn't have a very good series either. Kind of rough for SK. A little bit disappointing, but still a great year for them. Doing better than people expected. A lot of the players doing better than expected. But they still need I think a big name player to build around, or like a star big carry or something, because I really think they're lacking that right now. And I don't know if they have a guy who's going to necessarily become that, but we'll see. On the other side, Fnatic, they had a good series. Still some of the same Fnatic mistakes were, a little too crazy, a little inty and everything like that. But Upset had an awesome series. People are talking about him, maybe being the MVP of the split, and he carried for Fnatic once again. He was awesome. So yeah, we'll see if Fnatic can kind of ride this wave, ride this momentum going forward. Then we had G2 against Schalke, where G2 went up 2-0, and then they decided to kind of start trolling. They missed a ban in the draft. They were like memeing. Then all of a sudden they lose 2 games in a row, but then game 5 come out. And it was a long, drawn-out game, but G2 was pretty much in control from start to finish. So, they did knock Schalke down to the match 4 down here. This is a really fun series. The viewership was insane. I think like 650K for a first-round playoff matchup. That is insane. And if the LEC can continue to grow off that viewership into the semifinals and into the finals, we're going to be pushing 700, 800K viewers maybe. Like, that would be insane for a kind of domestic league playoffs, especially in the West. So I hope that happens, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen. Obviously, Schalke, G2 going to a 5-game series, G2 maybe getting upset. That's going to draw a lot of eyeballs. We'll see what happens. I hope the viewership continues to grow, but you never know. And then Rogue Mad Lions. Rogue came out and kind of stomped in game 1, but then Mad Lions really stomped them right back 3 games in a row. Yeah, Mad Lions did have one pretty crazy comeback. They didn't stomp all 3 games from start to finish or anything like that, but 3 pretty convincing wins, 3 pretty impressive wins, and they're looking pretty scary all of a sudden. And, people were expecting a G2 3-0 and a Rogue 3-0, and obviously neither of those happened. So the playoffs were way more fun and way more exciting than maybe people expected. So Rogue goes down to match 6 over here. They get the winner of Schalke and Fnatic. So that gets us to where we are now. We'll go through the games in the order of what I believe they're going to be played. I'm pretty sure Schalke and Fnatic is on Friday. So for this series, yes, I think Schalke, obviously people are going to say, they took G2 to 5 games. That's going to be pretty surprising. That's going to be pretty impressive. That probably favors them a little bit over Fnatic. They were already a top 4 team. They're coming from the winner's bracket, but in the regular season, what did Schalke win? One more game than Fnatic. I'm pretty sure, they're very, very close in the standings. They're both very, very inconsistent teams, and you never really know how either one of them is going to show up either day. I think G2 really stomped Schalke in the first 2 games, and then I really do think they kind of lost focus and thought it was just going to be super easy no matter what they did. I think they thought that they could get away with trolling a little bit, and I think that's kind of what helped Schalke get back in the series, whether that motivated them or whether, they could have figured some things out too. Some things could have clicked for them, but I don't read as much into that necessarily as I think other people will. I don't think Fnatic looked awesome against SK either, especially because I think SK is really a step down from the next 5 teams in the LEC. So this one's hard for me. I do think that Fnatic, obviously, the playoff buff, we'll see what happens. It's a new roster. Niski has historically not been that great in playoffs and worlds and all that stuff. And obviously he's on the team. Upset, he looked pretty good last week. Hylissang, I'm still not loving this split. Self-made, I think definitely needs to be better. So we'll see. The series is very, very interesting. I don't really know how it's going to go. I would not be surprised either way who does take this down. But I'm honestly leaning a little bit towards Fnatic in the series. I'm going to be taking Fnatic in a 3-2 over Schalke. Yes, obviously Schalke taking G2 to 5 games. That was cool. That was fun to watch, but I think kind of the Cinderella story, I don't know how legit it was, is what I'm saying. Like if G2 would have been trying their hardest, I do believe that they could have just easy kind of 3-0'd it, and I think we saw that a little bit in Game 5 as well. G2 is also incentivized to maybe not show all their picks to try and hide stuff when they know that they can beat a team like Schalke, and even if G2 lost, they would have been fine going down a loser's bracket or whatever. But yeah, I think Fnatic's going to take it down. I think it'll be a close, fun series. I think both these teams are very, very even, really, in terms of... honestly, I would probably lean towards Fnatic as maybe a more talented team. Obviously, Schalke has been playing better over the course of the season, and they've beat more good teams than Fnatic has. But we'll see how it goes. I do still have some faith in Fnatic. I think they could move on to this game, so we'll have Fnatic here, FMC, Fnatic here against Rogue, and that'll be on Sunday. Then we get into G2 Mad Lions. Mad Lions is a team that has historically matched up pretty well with G2. They're a team that's given G2 trouble. They are very, very good at team fighting, and just like Humanoid said in one of his interviews, team fighting is the meta right now. Obviously, Karzi and Kaiser looked really, really great this past weekend against Rogue, and if they're looking like that, they can really go toe-to-toe with anybody. Also, Humanoid, stepping up. Arma had a good series. Aloya's been one of the best junglers in the league. He's been a beast. But I do think G2 kind of got a wake-up call in their past series. They know maybe they, need to step up. Also, they've been showing a lot of respect to Mad Lions. They said, Reckless at least said that he thought Mad Lions was going to beat Rogue. He thought Mad Lions was better than Rogue. So, G2 knows, I think, not to take Mad Lions lightly. I think they know, especially after 3-1-ing Rogue. I'm sure Rogue was really overconfident and stuff coming into that series. Overall, I think G2 should be able to handle this. Again, this is, if I'm just looking at the teams and players stuff, G2 is more talented at most of the positions. Yes, they did look shakier last week against a much worse team where Mad Lions kind of dominated Rogue. G2 barely beat Schalke, but obviously I think G2, we know that they really pick and choose when to go their hardest, pick and choose when to ramp it up, when to dial it back. Obviously they know they have a history of Mad Lions. They've lost playoff series to them before, and I'm sure they don't want to do that again. Would not be surprised at all if Mad Lions takes a game, maybe even 2, but I don't think there's any way you can pick against G2 in this series. I'll go with a 3-1 for G2 with Mad Lions going down to the loser's bracket final or the semi-final, whatever you want to call it. And I think Mad Lions against either Rogue or Fnatic would be an absolute banger of a series, would be really, really fun, but we'll see who gets there. So, in match 6, finally, on Sunday, my final match kind of breakdown and predict. Again, Rogue, they were so weird because they looked so good throughout the whole regular season. People are talking about, is it the switch from online to stage? Is it the switch from regular season to playoffs and they're kind of like choking? Did Mad Lions just improve a ton? Is it a bad matchup stylistically? Did they have bad drafts? They have a bad read on the meta? Blah, 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 blah. There's a million different reasons for what went wrong with Rogue. I know Kaiser talked a little bit about how, Azir has kind of been nerfed over the course of the season, and maybe that's hurting Rogue a little bit. Obviously, it's one of Larson's best champions, and Rogue maybe had a little bit of mental boom in that series as well. Throwing a lead as big as they did, that's hard to come back from. So, overall, I don't know, because we've seen one bad series from Rogue. That doesn't mean it has to be the end of the world. Obviously, they've had a week now to reset, regroup, learn the patch more, figure things out, prepare for whoever they're going to be playing. The other team, also Schalke or Fnatic, whoever wins, this is going to be their second best of 5 in a weekend. That can be tiring. That can be exhausting. They're also going to have less time to prepare for Rogue than Rogue has to prepare for either of these teams. You know, even if they prepared half and half for both teams, they'd still have way more time than either Schalke or Fnatic would have to prepare for the series. I think Rogue has so many advantages. They have side selection, and I just think that over the course of the season, yeah, even though this was one bad series we saw from them, we saw so many great games in the regular season where they've shown the kind of team they are and just how good they are. I think it would be tough to pick against Rogue at this point just from one bad series. Again, but Rogue has shown that they are very, very beatable. You know, Mad Lions, maybe they gave the blueprint to the other teams in the league, and maybe they've now shown and given people confidence against a Rogue. And maybe Fnatic is just a better team in the playoffs. Maybe they're more confident, more experienced, know how to win big playoff series and big playoff matchups, and that is definitely worth something as well. But overall, I do think I would be giving this one a little bit towards Rogue. I think I'm going to be taking Rogue in a 3-1 over Fnatic. I think Fnatic's just been too inconsistent this year. I think they've made strides. I think they're getting better. I think there's things to be excited about maybe going into Summer Split for Fnatic, but I think they just need a lot more time to continue fixing some of these issues, and some of their players really need a big wake-up call. Like Hillsang and Whippo have simply just not been playing good enough. I also think Niski needs to step up in a huge way. Obviously, Self-Made has been a huge downgrade from what he was last year. I mean, really, Upset's the only one who I've been consistently impressed with, and I think has been playing to a standard and level that is good enough for a team like Fnatic, who wants to be one of the best teams in the world. I think everyone needs to wake up, step up, and stop being complacent and stuff. And maybe we'll see that happen in the summer, maybe not, but I think it's just too tall of an ask to make the jump from regular season to playoffs that they're trying to make. So I am going to be taking Rogue. I do have Rogue, Mad Lions in this kind of losers bracket final, semifinal, whatever. I think it will be really fun. Obviously, the winner would then take on G2 in what would be a really, really great series. I would definitely favor G2 over either one of these teams, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Will G2 keep looking inconsistent? Will Rogue rebound and look strong? Will Fnatic make a crazy run all the way through? You know, I don't exactly know. We don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to be really, really fun to watch. Either way, people are going to be excited. People are going to be hyped, and I can't wait. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about these 3 series coming up this weekend? Who you got? Why? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!